Guys, I think today we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to try to play catch up because I've had a lot of questions about some smaller items that really don't justify a standalone video. So I thought I'd put all the little things together and do just one video and try to answer all of the questions at once. So I guess starting from the left, we're going to start moving across and take a look one at a time. The first one is something you don't see very often. I'd never seen of it until I had the question. This is a Kedex. It's called the Kedex Easy Load Spring and Driver Reloading Tool. Sells for $18. It's made from solid brass and a couple of weird things. You can see it's the same diameter as, say, a medium follower, except the cutouts on the end are quite a bit different. If I get some focus going there. Come on, baby. There we go. You notice it's kind of a V cut. It's kind of rounded off, and then there's also that weird looking ball bearing. It's identical on both ends. So you might wonder what's that's all about. Well, you know, spring and driver reloading tool. So let's take a core, and what we're going to do, we're going to slide the Kedex in there so the ball bearing lines up with the holes in the top of the Bible. So as you slide it in there, you'll feel that ball bearing kind of lock into the hole in the cylinder. So now even if you drop it, it's not going to fall out. So you start loading from the rear. Now obviously we're blocking pin number 5 with that ball bearing, so we got to start loading from 4 forward. So let me just go ahead and slide it forward. Pretend we're loading up the very last one. Now take a look at this. The ball bearing is in pinhole number 2, and if I can get the light on this thing, I think you should be able to see that that V cut lines up absolutely perfectly with the hole. So if you were to take, say, a spring and drop him in there, I'm trying to do this through the camera lens, you notice he just falls right down in the hole. No messing around. And likewise, if you just take your pin and you drop him on there, he drops right on top. That V aligns it perfectly with the hole, and then you simply take your pick or something else, you push him down inside of the hole. If I can get some cooperation here through the camera lens. And then I'm going to push it down because I only have 2 hands. You slide it forward and you've locked him in place. Now you might say, well, at that point, you've only pinned up 4 of them, and that's why the other one is lined up. Slide him all the way through, and there you go, lines up perfectly with the last pin, whether that's pin number 5, 6, or 7, whatever. And then slide him out, and you are completely pinned up. How quick is that? I don't know about you guys, but it's like trying to drop pins in a hole in the back of a cave sometimes, and this Kedex really does help line them up. I got to say, it's a useful thing for 18 bucks. I think I'd recommend that. A lot of questions about shims. So let's take a look at some shims. These are the Klom shims that you see a lot of time on Amazon. They call it the 10-piece shim kit. These fellas, they usually sell for like $3 or $4, and then they charge you another $3 or $4 for shipping. So, you know, by the time you get it to your door, you got maybe 10 bucks in it. Depends if you buy it on Amazon or from eBay. These things, guys, are absolute garbage. They're made from aluminum. They just are, they're going to cut your finger. See, I got a little slice there. These are junk. They're not well done. And what do you expect for 10 bucks? But the bright side is when you buy these, what you do, you take these little blue handles off, and then you throw those shims away. And then you buy yourself a decent set of spring steel shims, and then you take those little rubber handles and you slide them on there. They're a lot more comfortable to use. So a lot of you guys ask where I got the blue handles. That's where I got the blue handles. Just throw those aluminum shims away and keep those blue handles. All right, let's take a look at some of some Sparrow stuff, some fairly new stuff. I got a couple of comb picks here. They call these the comb. Oh, so either way, this 10 bucks, give or take a little bit. These are the he calls this the comb 45s. Now I don't know why they call it. Maybe because 4 on one side, 5 on the other. It's the only thing I can imagine. Fit on your key ring, and I like these because no matter which side you're using, you're holding it. So you got something to hold onto, and you got a little lever so you can manipulate that thing around inside of there. You guys have seen how these work before, like a master lock or something similar to a master lock. Most of these are 4 pins. So you grab the one that has 4 pins, and you got 2 sizes of 4. You have the large one, and then you got identical brother. You just find out which one will fit into the keyway. So he's too big, I think. Well, maybe not. We'll try him. Manipulate him around inside of there, try to squeeze him up into those keyholes or into the pinholes, and if it doesn't work by wiggling them like this, then you probably are using the wrong size. So grab the other guy, slide him up inside of there, and one of these does work, I'm pretty sure. And there we go, we're in the lock. So pretty handy little toy, probably a little bit faster than picking, especially if you're working on the 5-pin side. So there you go, the Klom 45, those sell for, see if I can recall, $7.25 US. Another thing just out from Sparrows, something that probably needs a good explanation. These are called the motel keys, and they sell these for $11 for the set of 4. And so you get a quick set, Yale, and so forth, like all the typical locks that you'd find like in a hotel. Now, if you want to deprive somebody the use of a lock, this is also a good tool. It's almost exactly like those killer locks, I think the Lockbuster, I think they called it. So it has a very sharp cut, as you can see. So if you simply slide that into the lock, you are never getting that out of there. Now, the story on these is that they were developed by salesmen when they would travel around with all of their goods to different hotels and make sales visits. They didn't want somebody coming in the room like when they went out for a cup of coffee or to breakfast. So they'd temporarily slide that in there, and then nobody could get the key out, and likewise a maid with a pass key couldn't put her key into the lock to get in there, steal any of the stuff. And then when he got ready, he just came back, slid this in there, and then that allowed you to pull your key out. So there you go, the motel keys, one of each, and those sell for, I think it was $11. Another thing I like to take a look at, this is from PickPals, and they, you might think, well, they sell only in New Zealand and Australia, and that's not true. They got a pretty fair shipping. I ordered this lock and a set of picks, which is the recommended beginner kit, and the shipping was only $12 from Australia to the US. Inside of Australia and New Zealand, the shipping is free. But anyway, I was impressed with this because Euro locks are really difficult to find in North America, especially training locks or cutaway locks. And you know what? This is both. We have the cutaway, so you can see exactly what's going on inside of the lock. It's a training lock, so when you try to pick it, you can see what the pins are doing. And then as you get better, you notice we can pull out the plugs. These are all threaded Allen screws, and it comes with a bag. I don't know if you can see inside of there, but there are security pins inside of there. There's extra springs and plugs and a tool to remove the plugs, all of that. So you can pin it up any way you want to and pick the lock and see exactly what's going on. You can tie what's happening visually to what it is that you feel. PickPals recommends the the Southord C801. I'm not going to go into this because I've done a review of this kit before. But anyway, to get started in lockpicking with probably a top-of-the-line Euro lock and that set of locks, plus shipping, you could be into it for well under $100. I can't remember what the exact exchange rate is right now. Anyway, don't worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and put links for all of this stuff. I think all of it's pretty good stuff except those, unless you're going to buy just $10 for those rubber handles. I guess that would be a bargain. Anyway, fellas, I think we're caught up. I will put all the links in the description if you want to take a look at any of this stuff online. Thanks for your time. Stay safe, stay legal. And by the way, if you want to win this stuff, go to the website, hit the big blue, purple button, and register to win. The giveaway for this weekend is going to be everything that I just reviewed. Thanks, guys.